Hello, this is Cristina Silva with eXp Realty here in San Antonio, Texas. Today I'm going to be telling you 5 pros and 5 cons to moving to or living in San Antonio, Texas. The first pro is that this is a young and developing city with tons of growth and great job opportunities. So some of our biggest employers are the Joint Base, which is comprised of all 4 of the military bases here in our city. And then the other 2 biggest employers are HEB, which is our grocery store, and USAA. So we are definitely not a stagnant city. Our average age of resident is in the low 30s. So we always have new people moving in to take advantage of the awesome job opportunities here and starting their families and making San Antonio their home. And this keeps our average age really low. The second pro of living in San Antonio, Texas is the booming food scene. So we have a diverse range of food options here in San Antonio, but of course you're going to get some of the best Tex-Mex food you can imagine. Breakfast tacos, fajitas, street tacos, and margaritas reign supreme. But being from Texas, of course, we have numerous steakhouses, from budget-friendly to truly extravagant dining experiences as well. We also have an influx of creative chefs coming to our growing city, offering wonderful Italian, Asian, and other cultural cuisines. So there is no limit to the type of food you can get here in San Antonio. The third pro to living in San Antonio, Texas is the lower cost of living. So it's actually 14% below the national average, which means that your dollar will go further than in some other large Texas cities like Houston or Dallas. And it definitely goes further than some other states like California or New York. The fourth pro of living here in San Antonio, Texas are the higher education opportunities. Just to name a few, we have the University of Texas at San Antonio, Trinity University, St. Mary's University, Our Lady of the Lake University, and those are just a few of the 4-year universities we have here. There are actually about a dozen universities in San Antonio that offer a bachelor's degree, and then even more that have associate's degree programs. That may sound like it's a pro for families that want their kids to stay close for college, and it is, but even more than that, there are many opportunities for working adults to continue their education and get a graduate level degree at one of these universities. The last pro I'm going to go over of living in San Antonio are all the great attractions and things to do. Some of the most famous things we have here in San Antonio, Texas are the Alamo and the Riverwalk. If you haven't heard of the Riverwalk, basically we have a river running through downtown and there are all sorts of restaurants and shops around it. So you're walking inches away from the river or floating on a river barge and listening to mariachi music, drinking a margarita, or checking out the beautiful Christmas lights in December. There are also some amusement parks for you thrill seekers. We have Six Flags Fiesta Texas and SeaWorld. Of course, SeaWorld only has a few rides. They're mostly nature-based and animals and stuff like that. And of course, we have the San Antonio Zoo. Besides those, we have the Botanical Gardens, the San Antonio Missions National Historical Park, and plenty of museums. Another really unique feature of San Antonio are the greenway trails that connect a lot of the city with paved biking and walking trails. Almost all over the north to northwest to southwest side of town, you can find a trailhead with miles and miles of biking, walking, jogging trails. They're really nice paved trails that go along the creek systems in San Antonio. And the goal is eventually for all of them to be connected so you can go around the entire city if you'd like. Now let's get into some cons of living in San Antonio, Texas. So the first one I want to go over is the weather. And it's funny that I'm talking about this while there's a giant thunderstorm outside. That's not too common. The weather in San Antonio can be a bit of an adjustment if you're coming from somewhere that experiences 4 seasons. July and August are some of the most brutal months with consistent 100-degree days. December through February can be pretty cold. Some of you in the northern parts of the country are going to laugh, but the highs in those cold months are the 50s and 60s. And San Antonians will be bundled up in puffy jackets and Uggs. If you're a Halloween lover, just know that it'll probably be in the high 70s when the kids are trick-or-treating, so don't worry about making costumes cold weather friendly. And Christmas is usually beautiful in the 60s or 70s, sunshine. You can go out and use those biking and walking trails on Christmas Day and it'll be beautiful. The second con of San Antonio, Texas is the poor public transportation infrastructure, which basically means that you'll need to own a car if you're going to live in San Antonio. We do have a bus system and of course there are Ubers everywhere, but to get the most out of the city, a car would be most beneficial. There are some pockets of the city, especially near the Pearl or downtown area, where you could walk to your grocery store or shopping or work, but for the most part, you will need a car to be able to experience all that the city has to offer. The third con of living in San Antonio, Texas is the traffic and construction. Because the city is growing so rapidly, we do have pretty bad traffic and then seemingly constant construction to remedy that traffic. Luckily, a lot of traffic can be avoided by leaving either a little earlier or a little later or taking a different route. But in general, yeah, there's quite a bit of traffic and construction. The fourth con of living in San Antonio, Texas are the allergies. Unfortunately, San Antonio is not kind to those people that suffer from allergies. Our biggest culprit is the mountain cedar. They give off an insane amount of pollen during cedar fever season, which is during the colder months. So we won't get any snow here usually, but you will have a nice layer of yellow on your decks and on your cars if you park them outside. Along with that yellow layer of dust, you'll experience the sneezing, sniffling, watery eyes, scratchy throats. Luckily, it's temporary and can often be minimized with over-the-counter medications, and also it doesn't affect everyone. I know members of my family that are taken out unless they get some medicine, and then some members of my family are totally fine and it doesn't affect them at all. The last con I'm going to go over today is the lack of pro sports teams. We do have the San Antonio Spurs, who are absolutely amazing. We love them. There's a ton of support for the Spurs in the city, but that's our only pro sports team. We don't have an NFL team, so if football is your go-to sport, you'll have to travel to Dallas or Houston. But we do have the UTSA, which is the University of Texas San Antonio football team, the Roadrunners, in the Alamo Dome, and that can be just as fun, I think. We also don't have a Major League Baseball team. We do have the Missions, which is a minor league AA team affiliate of the San Diego Padres. I had to read that because I have no idea what that means. But again, for an MLB game, you'd have to be traveling to Dallas or Houston to catch the Rangers or the Astros. So what do you think about these pros and cons? Let me know in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe to catch more content about moving to and living in San Antonio, Texas. And of course, if you ever need a realtor to help buy or sell a property here in San Antonio, Texas, give me a call. Thanks for watching. Bye.